It is, of course, tax season, and the United Way is once again partnering with AARP to help thousands in the Quad Cities prepare for taxes free of charge. A very great program that United Way does. Max Biak is with United Way Quad Cities and joins us now. Welcome back, Max. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me.
You all are very busy over at United Way because you just started taking appointments for people to get their taxes done yesterday, and I mean, these appointments are filling up very quickly.
That is right. Yep, we started taking appointments yesterday. I ran the report truthfully before coming on, and we had scheduled over 500 appointments already, so that's really awesome to see. Yeah.
That is wonderful. It's nice when you pursue an initiative like this and people hear about it and they take advantage of it. I mean, ultimately, that's the goal here. So describe why this United Way initiative is so important to the community as a whole.
Absolutely. You know, with the rising costs of everything, especially the most basic needs, people are really wanting those tax returns and that money because that money is going towards the most basic needs. So giving people the opportunity to file their taxes completely free of charge puts more money back in their pockets.
Absolutely. And one really cool thing, I mean, you were on our show back in December, I believe. You talked about how financial security has a ripple effect on a community.
Absolutely. You know, when you start, like I said, if you are constantly being hammered by these most basic needs, you are never able to get ahead. And really, like I said, we're just trying to provide people that avenue so that they can get ahead.
Absolutely.
It kind of takes the stress relief off of paying someone else to do it, or them doing it themselves, and then run the risk of maybe getting an error. Getting an error, which I've run into in the past. So a very helpful program. So who qualifies for the program? Because you know we obviously are covering a large area, but United Way Quad Cities is more metro focused, right?
Absolutely. Yep. So we were really looking to serve the Quad Cities, Scott and Rock Island County. We typically handle for state returns Iowa and Illinois, and that's simply just because that's what our volunteers are trained on.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, and so there are income requirements as well for
Absolutely,
this.
yes, thank you. The income threshold for this year is $67,000 per household.
Okay.
So anybody who is under that income threshold is eligible to have their taxes filed by us.
All right, and if we are eligible, what do we need to bring as far as documents go to get this done?
Absolutely. The two big things are a photo ID and your social security card, as well as all relevant tax paperwork, your W-2s, and also if you have last year's tax paperwork, that is great for us as well. It helps us kind of base this year's return off of what you had last year.
Okay, so all really helpful things to make sure that you bring with you. I'm sure people get reminders and things too as they sign up for appointments. Let's talk about that. How can people make an appointment? Where do they go for this?
Absolutely. So there's two ways to make an appointment. The first way, and probably the easiest way, is right off of our website, unitedwayqc.org. Otherwise, you can go ahead and call our office phone. Where we have staff on hand, ready and willing to make appointments for you.
And there are appointment-only locations pretty much all over the metro, but there's a walk-in option.
Absolutely. The Martin Luther King Center in Rock Island is our walk-in location. So they are open Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings, and Saturday mornings.
Okay, wonderful.
All right, and you need to make sure that you're coming in person. These appointments aren't virtual, right?
Absolutely. Yep. You need to be there. If you are filing jointly, your spouse needs to be there as well.
Okay, and you have a checklist that's available for people in case they forget a certain document or they forget what they need to bring.
That is a bad feeling. I mean, I've done that at a tax prep appointment before where you get there and they're like, do you have the such and such? And no, you got to go home and get it and make that appointment all over again.
Absolutely.
It's awful,
yes. So I would encourage everyone to check out our website. We'll have our checklist on there. We also have our intake form. So when you show up on site, the first thing we'll have you do is fill out that intake form. We have that on our website, so you can fill that out beforehand.
Okay, wonderful. And Kyle kind of alluded to this already, but an appointment itself, I mean, there's no telling how long it could take. It could be a 45-minute appointment. I mean, if it's been a while or if you have something complex going on, it can obviously take a longer time. People just, I would assume, just need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, typically our appointments range from about 45 minutes. I've seen it go as high as 2 hours in special cases.
Okay.
But we really try to have you in and out of there in about an hour.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, and this is a big impact for people because, I mean, you can fine people hundreds, if not, maybe more than $1,000 for their income tax return.
Absolutely. The two main credits that we focus on our tax returns are the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit as well.
Okay, so really this is a huge impact and on a lot of people, and these are people that oftentimes do really need the help. I mean, the economic impact for these folks can be huge.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so let's see. I have some stats from last year. So you had volunteers help. What did you say before we started the segment? More than 3,300 people in the Quad Cities?
The VITA Coalition, that is United Way Quad Cities, and then Iowa and Illinois AARP, yeah, we were able to serve over 3,300 people last year.
That just goes to show you the need for this program to continue, and hopefully, you know, we can get more people that do participate. And yeah, some of those, you know, some of those average refunds was over $1,100.
Absolutely.
So kind of put that into perspective. I mean, what can $1,100 do for a family?
$1,100, one that can provide over 1 month's rent for anybody in the Quad Cities. That's 4 weeks of utility, or I'm sorry, a couple months of utilities, or 4 weeks of groceries.
Yeah, and we have that on the screen right now. I mean, it really does put it into perspective when you get this done and you get it done right by a professional. You know, the relief it can probably have for a lot of people. I don't care who you are. I mean, if you have $1,000 coming back, I mean, that's going to help you with something. So before we let you go, are you looking for volunteers? Because I know it takes a lot of people to get this done.
Absolutely. We are still looking for volunteers.
Okay.
There is no shortage of people wanting to use our service. We are truly limited by just the number of volunteers we have.
Really?
I have great hopes in wanting to grow the program and expand to other areas of the Quad Cities, but we just need a few more volunteers. So if there's anybody interested about the program, wants to know more information, I would love to have a conversation with them.
Absolutely, and you train all these folks and everything like that. So don't worry about that. If you think you want to volunteer, if you're a little rusty, they're going to help you, you know, learn what you need to know. If you want to volunteer or you want to learn more about eligibility requirements, what documents are needed for tax prep appointment, visit unitedwayqc.org/VITA. Max, thank you so much for coming today.
Of course, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.